Like, it's not perfect. It's pretty close. Sentinel's a war criminal? Free my girl Sentinel, she did nothing wrong. Everything's a scam banner except for the actual event banner. I might be just a little guy and it's my birthday, but we are literally talking about war. I was not prepared to start this video. Hello, friends and gamers. So, it's time for the big Sentinel video. We start here because it's time for the big Sentinel video. Finally! So, today, I still haven't gotten to Sentinel's trailer, so we're going to start with that here in this OBS scene. And then, after we do Sentinel's trailer reaction, we're going to go straight to the game. We're skipping Extreme Talent yet again, because we're going to go straight into the game and just look at Sentinel's kit on our own time. That is the plan for this video. Yeah, that's the plan for this video. We're finally doing the Sentinel video, which means we might do some polling today. I'm not sure if I want to pull for Sentinel, though. I think it's going to be up to how I feel about her survey, which we'll also do in this video. So it's gonna be trailer, then we'll get in game, and we'll do kit review, survey, possibly some polls. Polls might be their own video. I'm not sure what I want to do with polls yet. I don't think polls are gonna be their own video. It doesn't make sense for polls to be their own. I don't have that many polls, so that's the plan. Before we get started though, while this particular video is not sponsored, I am a partnered creator with Blue Epoch Interverse 1999 through the Backtracking Atelier program, and I will be receiving compensation for this video. Okay, unheard confession. Let's get into it. I feel like this is gonna be like a gut punch, but I feel like everything about Sentinel is a little bit of a gut punch. So like, I'm kind of scared to get into it. I will say that, but I say, let's just get into it. Why is it? Oh, it like is a black screen for quite some time. Whoa, louder than I thought. Very cinematic though. Like the black screen was up for a minute. Ooh, still very cinematic, even with like the 3D animation.
So, soldier.
Wow. I do have to say, they did a very good job of like meshing together like the 3D elements and the 2D, like live 2D elements very well. Because like the flags and the plants and the trees, that's 3D elements, but like it's not perfect, I'll say that, but it's like pretty close. Like it's pretty close. And I still think it looks really good. I think it's just based on Reverse 1999's art style. Like the very painterly style matches pretty well. I don't know if they've done that with the 3D and 2D meshed together like that before, but it looks pretty good. Because this is all just 2D here.
Is charged with the following crimes.
What? Sentinel's a war criminal? Free my girl Sentinel, she did nothing wrong. I haven't done the story yet, so that could be a lie.
Unauthorized use of arcane skills.
Oh, unauthorized use of okay, so this is one of the wallpapers from this version. The stabby stab? We talked about that in a gacha recap.
An evasion of combat.
Wow. Wait, what is she being charged? The arcane skill thing, yeah, sure. She probably had a reason for doing it. It was probably like the lesser of two evils situation, which isn't necessarily an excuse, but it could be a reason. Me out here be playing as shooters for Sentinel. She did nothing wrong. I just want to hear the rest of her charges.
Incitement to disobedience of
Incitement to disobedience
orders.
of orders. Oh, so she went against what she was ordered to do, used her arcane skill, and something happens. Interesting. Okay.
An evasion of combat.
Evasion of combat. You know, I'm not gonna elaborate. But I have thoughts. I'm just saying. I feel like there's worse things to be charged for opposed to evasion of combat. Like, in a perfect world, there'd be no war, obviously, but we don't live in a perfect world. And you know, sometimes, a lot of the time, most of the times, war is traumatizing to people, and you don't know about that until you get into it. So, free my girl Sentinel.
You have damaged morale.
Damaged morale.
Honored your duty.
She's so pretty. Oh my god. What is this? Because this is a propaganda poster, right? But everything else is very normal, which I actually think this shot in particular kind of exemplifies the attitudes around, like, I don't want to say war in general, but like there's definitely a deeper meaning here. And it's like you have the propaganda poster with the cafe advertisement and the theater, but like it's just like normalized. Free my girl Sentinel. Everything comes back to freeing my girl Sentinel.
I must.
Oh.
The motherland calls.
So she fell victim to the propaganda. You know, it comes for the best of us. Free my girl Sentinel.
defend our home.
I wonder if this video will stay monetized, guys. Want to take bets?
Your actions.
Because that was her as a child. Her character story is going to hit so hard.
Disgrace to the military.
Getting the head turned too. The live 2Ds got crazy.
Should thou be accepted into Lansad, I shall fund thy atelier de couture.
I have no. I'm act like I'm reading the letter. I can't see a thing. Oh, she was so happy to be accepted. She just wanted to help people
The court finds you guilty
in her country, and then they're like turning on her.
rebellion. Your sentence is death.
Oh, not the death. Can we like? Oh,
We never truly.
I don't even know if I can keep that in the video. Ain't no way Reverse is monetizing this. Blue up, fuck. I don't know how you got past the censors.
To end this war.
Wait, what'd she say?
To end this.
No, full sentence.
I will stop at nothing.
I will stop at nothing
To end
this war. Free my girl Sentinel! You know? So she, first of all, can't die. All right. We love an immortality trope. You know, I just busted my butt to go see Frankenstein in theaters before it hit before they took it out of the theater. I busted my butt to do that, you know? I'm not going to spoil the movie, but like it is a classic novel. So there's that. I might love Sentinel. I might. She did nothing wrong. I'm going to like the video now. Okay, let's get in game, do the kit review. And you know what? We'll probably do after the survey. We'll probably pull. I originally was gonna have polls in a separate video, but I don't want to do that anymore. So let's get in game. We are getting into the game. I didn't do my dailies yesterday because it was my birthday and I was lazy. It's okay. All right. Oh, my cells. I forgot I had cells expire. Don't look at it. My box covers it usually, but don't look at it. Okay. Yes. Let's get in game. Oh, it's not that bad of overflow. Usually my cell activity overflow goes up to like the 800. It's only at 435. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm gonna fix it tonight. I just did not feel like doing dailies yesterday. I did log in yesterday, but I didn't feel like doing dailies because I logged in because I was doing the birthday edition of Gacha Shenanigans yesterday. And last year I forgot to include Reverse. So I was like, okay, we're gonna include Reverse. Reverse doesn't have birthday rewards. Found that out yesterday. So I was tired. I want to go to sleep. It's okay. Okay, let's do this. So I'm gonna skip all my daily stuff. And if I decide we're pulling for Sentinel, that's when I'll grab as many clear drops as I can. But I have 3,080 as well as some unilogs, so I probably will be fine. The current banners running, however, and I'm not moving my box yet, are obviously Sentinel's banner, A Beating Heart Beneath the Stone. This has 9 days left, so we definitely need to get into this, and I definitely need to get this video up. After that, Yearning in the Water, Scam Banner number 1, Flutter Page, Book of Wise rerun, Scam Banner number 2, Rubles on the Water, Scam Banner number 3. Listen, everything's a scam banner in this patch, except for the actual event banner, because we had so many limited patches in a row, limited banners in a row, we've reached a point where we need to save. Collectively, we as a community need to save. I say that, and then we'll probably wail for Sentinel. Sentinel's mineral. What is the current state of my mineral characters? Because I feel like I need more mineral characters, quite frankly. That is not what I clicked. So I'm the characters that are pinned here, I'm in the process of building. I don't actually really use these characters. I'm just in the process of building them, so that's why they're pinned. If we confirm mineral, I do have 3 6-star mineral characters, but in terms of like DPS power, I really only have Cassandra. Because Summelice is a support. Babel, I use more as a sub DPS, quite frankly, burst situation. She's more of a shielder at the end of the day too. And I do use Balloon Party from time to time, but she's also a support. So what type of, that's not what I clicked. What type of character then is Sentinel? Let's find out. So Sentinel is a 6-star Blood Tithe DPS support. Literally, she does it all. Blood Tithe DPS support. So also she's going to be working well with Nautika, with Summelice. So we probably will end up pulling more of in a like vein of meta situation, like when I ended up pulling for Kiparina, and now I use Kiparina all the time. I liked Kiparina enough during her banner. You know, I always say she should be my daughter, but she's not my daughter. She's Winsong's daughter. So, but I was not originally planning on pulling for Kiparina. I did, and I use her all the time now because she works so well in my team with Barcarola. I need characters that work well with Nautika because I pulled Nautika, I built my Nautika to a certain extent, and I still haven't really used her because I don't know who to run her with. So, seeing Blood Tithe here for Sentinel, I think it's time we've truly learned how Blood Tithe works, because if you remember the Nautica video, I could not figure out Blood Tithe for my life. So I think it's time. All right, so we're gonna go do this how we usually do it. We're gonna start with skills, kind of working our way backwards. We'll do her skills and ults and stuff. Then we'll do passive, then we'll do pay to play, and then we do the survey, and then we pull. So her ultimate is called Infernal Mercy. This is a mass attack, which likely story for a ultimate. Deals 300% reality damage to all enemies. This attack counts as Retribution. Does not take up the allied incantation draw limit. So, Retribution is a special buff, deals damage based on 20% of the user's max HP instead of attack. So it seems like you want to build up her HP as opposed to her attack, which I do find interesting because Reverse 1999 has some very interesting kits, but I feel like in terms of a build, they're all kind of the same. Like you're kind of building the same stats on characters, whereas other gacha games will play with which stat you're building so your character can do the best damage output. So I'm excited to see that from Reverse 1999, but also it makes sense that this Retribution would be scaled off max HP based on her character trailer, where she's supposed to die for war crimes, allegedly, and then doesn't because she can't die. So it's her Retribution. It makes sense lore-wise. I always love when a gameplay mechanic ties in with a character's lore like this. So I'm just like, that hits. You know, it's such a little thing. It very corn-platey, but like, ooh, that hits. Then for every stack of Fresh Wound owned, Retribution multiplier goes up by 2%. So Fresh Wound is another special buff. At the start of the round, loses 1.5 times percent. Oh, what is happening? Okay, own max HP times 1.5% times the number of stacks of this status. That is literal algebra, and I'm not doing it. But she loses a certain amount of HP, then gains 50% increased points of Blood Tithe gained by this HP loss. This is stackable then up to 20 times, and the HP loss cannot exceed current HP. So this will not kill your character outright. Something else could then go on to kill them from like having most of their HP diminished, but it will not kill them outright. I am afraid of this mechanic. I've said this before. I am somebody who, when my characters lose any amount of HP, it stresses me out. So I think that's why I could not vibe with Blood Tithe as a mechanic when we first got it with Nautica. We're not talking about Ezra right now. Nautica. Don't look at him. He's in the corner with his mushrooms and he's having a great time. Don't look at him. But Blood Tithe as a mechanic kind of focuses in on HP loss and buffing out your characters when they receive that HP loss. And that mechanic in any game stresses me out because I'm like, oh my god, my characters are gonna die. So I feel like, hypothetically, I probably shouldn't be pulling for Sentinel, but in the same vein of things, I should not have pulled for Nautica. Here we are, and now I have to make it work. So this will also remove all stacks of Fresh Wound from self. Each stack of Fresh Wound removed restores missing HP times 5% of HP. So not a ton, but I would assume possibly that number might go up in the paid play section in portraits. We'll see. So we have her, I can't think straight. We have her first incantation, her attack incantation. Are they both attacks? No, next one's a channel. That's fine. Her attack incantation. At level 1, this is a single target attack that deals 130% reality damage. This attack counts as a Retribution, so again, damage based on the max HP. So that means now 2 of her 3 incantations, I believe, scale off HP. Yes, so her ultimate and her attack incantation scale off HP instead of attack. So at this point, I would fully recommend building and focusing in on Sentinel's HP as opposed to her attack for a build. I would not even worry about attack, quite frankly. So after attacking, she gains 2 stacks of Fresh Wound, gains an extra Blood Tithe +1 if actively used. So Blood Tithe is the stacking mechanic here. We talked about it with Nautica. If you're new though, whenever allies lose 3,000 HP combined, you accumulate 1 point of Blood Tithe, and HP lost from being attacked accumulates Blood Tithe at only 30% efficiency. So it's a bit of a miss. There's a lot going on with Blood Tithe. I still don't really fully know how it works, but hopefully we'll find out. So that is incantation level 1. Then at level 2, 130% reality damage is going to go up to 195%. I don't even want to figure out the percentage increase on that because that's a weird increase. And instead of 2 stacks of Fresh Wound gained, it is 3 stacks. So this does look like something you are going to be wanting to stack, because sometimes with Reverse 1999 characters, the increase from one incantation level to the next will only be the number of stacks, or it'll only be the percentage reality damage dealt. So based on how you want to play the character, a certain stacking mechanic is going to work for different things. Like if you're wanting to do more damage, then if this If the reality damage goes up, you're going to want to stack. But if you're only using the character more as a support and the number of stacks doesn't go up, then you're not going to want to, you don't need to stack it. But anyways, this is both, which is, I would say, pretty good. But also, I mean, she has a support and a DPS. Interesting. Okay. Her level 3 then, yeah, this, you definitely want to go all the way to 3. Obviously, if you can't get all the way to 3 stacks, it's not the end of the world. But I would, did I say, I read this wrong? Oh my God, hold on. I would say try as well as you can to stack her attack. I also read this wrong. It's not expiration, it's expiation. I don't know what that word means. And I'm not gonna look it up. We're just gonna use context clues. It's probably something to do with death. Anyways, at incantation level 3, this deals 325% reality damage, huge increase, and you will, after attacking, you will gain 5 stacks of fresh wound as opposed to 3 or 2. So again, pretty big increase. I would say incantation level 3 almost doubles from 2, and it's on both. So yeah, you want to stack that one. That's expiation is probably what you want to focus on too. But her channel then is called Night Watch. At incantation level 1, this is a self channel, obviously. Sentinel enters the Hour of Repentance status and gains 6 stacks of Dread Bullet. We have 2 new things here. So Hour of Repentance is her channel, essentially. I'm assuming it happens at night. At the start of the round, gain 2 stacks of Locked On. This is consumed to trigger certain effects then. After an enemy takes an action, consume 1 stack of Locked On to cast rank 1 Expiation, which is going to be her attack incantation. It'll only hit 1 time. At the end of the enemy round, then consume all stacks of Locked On. And for every stack consume, this casts a rank 1 expiation on a random enemy with the boss prioritized. Love that, actually, 1 time, because I do like that they're working in boss prioritization into the actual character kit, because I am somebody, I've said this before, right? I'm not going to not use auto clear if it's an option. Like, I will always be using auto clear. I don't want to think that hard, quite frankly. I can, but also I'd rather put my brain power into overanalyzing the story most of the time. So I've said it before. I'm not going to pick out each incantation myself. I am using auto clear, and if I don't clear the thing, then I die. That's what we do here. So I actually do like this boss prioritization being worked in, because I use auto clear a lot and it does not prioritize the boss. So I get why people go in themselves and cast things themselves as opposed to using auto clear, because auto clear in Reverse 1999 kind of sucks sometimes, and that's okay. Most of the time it gets the job done, but other times debatable. But I actually am kind of hoping they'll go in and maybe just even add boss prioritization to the, like, auto clear of the game, as opposed to putting it into a, like, you know, like, either give it to all the characters or don't. So any expiation cast this way gains retribution multiplier plus 10%. So you'll get, if it counts as retribution, plus 10%. So it would be damage based on 30% of max HP. Instead of 20. This channel status ends when using up Dread Bullet after attacking. So Dread Bullet then, we didn't even get to that yet. This is a positive status. When attacking, deal 75% additional reality or mental damage based on the user's damage type. So can she cast Dread Bullet onto other characters based on user's damage type? Or is someone else uses Dread Bullet? Someone else has to use Dread Bullet, and so that's why it's very vague and having based on damage type. We'll check which one. I actually did not check which one Sentinel is, so we'll check in a second. This damage is based on 20% of the user's max HP instead of attack, and then -1 stack after attacking. Okay, so hold on. So Sentinel's doing reality damage. Then, what was the bit that said about was it dread? Okay, so yeah, it'll be reality damage. So how does this stack then? Oh God, okay. So at Incantation 1, you gain 6 stacks of Dread Bullet, additionally gains 2 stacks of Locked On, if not already under Hour of Repentance. Okay. Consume 1 point of Blood Tithe to grant 6 stacks of Dread Bullet to the adjacent ally in front. It looks like everything... Okay, no. So only this number here. Okay. So at Incantation level 2 then, you'll gain 9 stacks of Dread Bullet, and then consume 1 point of Blood Tithe to grant 9 stacks of Dread Bullet to the adjacent ally in front. So Dread Bullet can be a status effect that is applied to other characters. Okay, we figured that out. And then Incantation 3, it goes... gain in Grant goes up to 15 stacks. So again, yeah, you really want to focus on leveling up Sentinel's incantations to level 3. Obviously, if you can't get that far, it's not the end of the world. I think her attack is probably more worth it to stack as opposed to the channel, because the channel, the 6 stacks, is already a pretty good number, especially if you cast it like multiple times. But also, if you're going to cast it multiple times, it might just be more worth it to try and stack it up to 3. Which I feel like most characters, it's like, yeah, focus on stacking this one, but the other one doesn't matter as much. You don't have to stack it. Sentinel, I feel like it really, like, stacking really matters for her, which is interesting because I said, like, oh, I'm glad they have boss prioritization in here, because what if I want to auto clear? And it is like a random attack that with the boss prioritization, so that makes a certain amount of sense that they would do that. But also, I don't think Sentinel is an auto clear friendly character. I'm gonna say it. I think you probably can't use her on auto clear. Blood type in general, you might just not be able to do on auto clear, because I felt that before. Okay, interesting. All right. I picked a great mechanic to get into. All right, so passive stuff then, inheritance called Sin Brought to Light. This is as you level up and get different insight levels on Sentinel, you get these buffs, so it's not super crazy or anything like that. So at insight 1, the team will accumulate blood tithe when losing HP. Good bit. When an ally has Dread Bullet, they gain critical rate plus 30%. Good bit. I see where the DPS and the support is coming in though. And then when an ally triggers Dread Bullet, they gain damage bonus plus the carrier's max HP times 0.25%. So that would be 1/4 of the max HP. So say your max HP is 100. That would be then 25. So it would be plus 25 base stat. You know, it's not a percentage. With excess critical rate converted into 80% critical damage. Okay. All right. So it seems almost like Sentinel, her active incantation skills, those are her DPS skills, obviously. Channeling, applying Dread Bullet is more support based. But a lot of the support stuff, it seems like, really lies in her inheritance, mainly. So at Insight 2 then, damage dealt will go up by 8% when entering battle. That is pretty standard for Insight 2. And then Insight 3, when triggering bullet effect, have a 50% chance to trigger this effect, which the effect being if below 5 Moxie, you gain 1 Moxie and also gain 1 stack of fresh... Oh, but no. I lied. If you are below 5 Moxie, you gain 1 Moxie, and then if you are above 5 Moxie, you get a stack of fresh wound instead. So Insight 3 is like one of those things that's like, yeah, that's good to have, and you'll get it eventually probably, but I don't think I would be super like I think that Insight 1 is probably her best passive. And obviously if you're leveling up your character, you're going to get all of these regardless. But I do think if you're like tight on funds or something, because we had a lot of characters release, if you're tight on funds, Insight 1 is probably fine. I would say go to Insight 2 for the outfit, but that's just me. I think if you're running her at Insight 1, full leveled, fully built out, she can probably do a pretty good amount of damage. Obviously, Insight 3 and 2 are going to be even better, but if you're tight on funds, I would really focus on her Insight 1. Personally, though, Insight 2 gives you the outfit. I'm just saying. That stuff all comes free with the character, though. Everything we just went over is Sentinel at Nope. Everything we just went over is Sentinel at P0. That is a 1 copy of the character, totally normal to get, especially if you've been saving. It's common. You can, if you play through the patch, you can probably get 1 copy of Sentinel, right? Reverse isn't that stingy when it comes to rewards. Unless you get unlucky. You might get unlucky. I get unlucky. So from here, we're going to go through Sentinel's portraits, and I need to change what side of the screen we're on. Realistically, I should probably take the birthday hat off for Sentinel pulls, because I might be just a little guy and it's my birthday, but we are literally talking about war. Anyways, portrait info, pay to play time. This is the section of the video where we go through every character copy extra, and I say whether I think they're worth it or not. Generally, I recommend whether you are a low spender, free to play, whale, what have you. My general recommendation is go for a single copy of the character, and if you really like the character's playstyle and see yourself using them long term, right before they go off banner, that's when you do your pulls. Or even better, wait for the rerun. Because also with Sentinel is not a limited 6-star. Sentinel will go to the standard banner in a couple patches. So I don't even really fully recommend going all the way on her kit for the sole purpose that it is highly likely you can get extra copies on the standard banner in a couple months. So it's rough out there. You don't have to wail. Anyways, let's do the thing. Obviously, spend responsibly. If you have the disposable income, go for it. But especially on global, we had so many limited banners back to back to back. Might be in your best interest to chill a little bit. So Portrait 1 for Sentinel, this is going to be 2 copies of Sentinel, is a buff for Sin Brought to Light, which I believe that's, yes, her passive. So with this, Dread Bullet's crit rate bonus is increased to 40% from 30%, so this is related to her Insight 1. Damage bonus multiplier based on max HP is increased to 0.3%, I believe from 0.25, so a little bit of an increase there, but it's a percentage increase, so that will start to add up. And then the ratio of Blood Tithe points increased from Fresh Wound is increased to 100%. So originally that is going to be 80, correct? Where's Blood Tithe? The ratio of Blood Tithe points is increased from Fresh Wound is increased to 80. Okay, so no, 100. Okay, so it's originally 50, so this doubles. Okay, her Portrait 1 is actually quite good. I would actually, regardless of if you're free to play a whale, what have you, I would actually fully recommend her Portrait 1. And if I did not want to pull for Charon, I might even go for it myself, quite frankly. And I don't go for portraits. Like, that's really good. Especially because most of it's based around her Insight 1 or the Fresh Wound stacks, which is like very, like, that's beginner friendly. That's low, that's like tight on in-game funds friendly. Like, that's good, actually. That's a good Portrait 1. And the fact that that is a really good one and it's so, like, low on the portrait list, I can't complain. I really can't. That's a good one. I feel like it's been a minute since we have had like good portraits on a character, but at the same time, characters having quote unquote bad portraits isn't necessarily a bad thing because it's like, oh, this character is totally viable to use at P0. I don't even recommend getting portraits, but I actually really like this portrait because it doesn't change her kit either. Like her kit stays the same. It's just buffing those numbers, which is top tier. So then at portrait level 2, this is going to be 3 copies of Sentinel. This is going to be a buff for Night Watch, the self-channeling incantation, the number of Dread Bullet stacks granted to self, and the adjacent ally in front. So the what is it? Grain and Gant? Grain and, what was it? What did I say it was? Gain 6, grant 6. Gain and grant. But we'll go 9, 12, 18 instead of 6, 9, 15. So again, I also think her P2 is pretty good. At the start of the round, the number of locked on stacks granted by Hour of Repentance is increased to 3. So originally it is 2. Yes, it's 2. So you get an extra stack there. I will say, I think her P2 is also very good. Usually my general recommendation is if you're a low spender, stop at P2, like entirely. Don't go any further. But if you're a whale and looking to try out, get a few copies of Sentinel, see if you like her, I will usually recommend going to P2, stop there, and then either get the rest of your portraits on a rerun or something like that. Especially because it's very possible you will lose your 50-50 and get copies of Sentinel later on. Even more so if you're a whale, because you're doing more pulls, obviously. It's more likely if you're doing more pulls. So, I really like both her P1 and P2. I think they're actually very good and will definitely make Sentinel, like, they're definitely worth it, you know? Like, those are definitely probably worth it, but also I haven't seen her in game and she might be fine without them. But I don't, like, if you're actively using Sentinel, I think 1 and 2 are good buffs to have because they're pretty good. From here, though, we get a little bit more into high spender territory, and based on 1 and 2, I'm assuming these ones won't be as crazy. So Portrait level 3 or 4 copies of Sentinel is going to be a buff for Expiation. This is the attack incantation, but also this is cast through her self-channel. So with this one, the reality damage dealt is increased to 150, 225, and 375%, respectively, based on the incantation level. Retribution multiplier granted by Hour of Repentance is also increased to 15%. So it is originally, what is it? Oh, 10. Okay. So you're getting an extra 5% there, but it is a percentage increase, so that will add up. In terms of the damage, at Incantation 3, Expiation normally does 325, and so it's going up to 375. It is a percentage, so again, it will add up. However, I don't, like, it's not a huge increase. I don't think it's the end of the world if you don't grab it. I feel like we're going to be the same with Portrait level 4. This is 5 copies of Sentinel. This is a buff for Infernal Mercy, which is going to be her ultimate. And with this one, the reality damage dealt is increased to 450% as opposed to 300. Yes, it is a big buff, but it's a one-line portrait skill bit. I don't think it's that necessary, quite frankly. I do have to applaud how spread out and like diverse the buffs in her portraits are, because we only have one repeat and it's her passive, you know? So like, I actually really appreciate that because usually with reverse 1999 portraits, it'll be like the same two things going back and forth getting buffed. And so it'll feel very samey and repetitive. But I think the reason why Sentinel's kit feels so well thought out is because they definitely did a lot of variation here. So with portrait level 5, then this is 6 copies of the character. This is whale high spender territory, unless you're really unlucky a couple months from now. But with this one, it's another buff for Sin brought to light. Like I said, this is the repeat. So Dread Bullet's critical rate bonus is increased to 60% from 30, but with Portrait 1, we already got one of those, I believe. Yes, so Portrait 1 brings it from 30 to 40, and then Portrait 5 brings that 40 up to 60. So it does cancel itself out a little bit. This is what I was talking about when the portraits start to feel very repetitive and like they're repeating, it's like they're reheating their own nachos a little bit. But we only had this happen once, so when attacking, damage bonus multiplier based on max HP is increased to 0.4, so you get an extra 0.1%. That will add up to a certain extent, but again, it cancels out P1. The excess crit rate to crit damage conversion rate is also increased to 100% from 80. So you do get that with, like, quite frankly, Portrait level 5 cancels out most of Portrait 1, but the one new thing is this excess crit rate to crit damage going up, because originally that is 80%, but Portrait 1 does not buff that. Portrait 1, the final thing it buffs is related to Blood Tithe. I do think her portraits will probably buffer out, obviously. I think they're good portraits. I do think if you are a whale and want to get all of Sentinel's portraits, I think it probably is worth it. I haven't said that in a minute. I feel like we've gotten quite a few characters where I'm like, I'm looking at these portraits and I don't think they're worth it. I actually do think Sentinel's portraits are worth it. And that's both a blessing and a curse, I would say, because obviously the portraits being worth it, it's like, okay, well, you're getting the bang for your buck. If you're a whale and you're going to go all the way to portrait level 5, it's going to be worth it for you. But how does the character play at P0 that every single portrait seems like it's super, super nutty? Is she a viable character at P0? You know, like there's two sides to that coin when we get actual good portraits that feel like worth it. Like, will the character actually work at P0 then? A little bit concerning, but you know what that means. It's survey time. We're gonna go do Sentinel's survey and see if she works at P0. Easy. We're gonna go test her out. So we go into the super cool event screen here. I do have tactical telegram stuff to do, don't worry about it. Where is it? Dawn Rises over the kill zone? Yeah, it's Dawn Rises over the kill zone, of course it is. All right, server time. Are we in the Panopticon? Yeah, we're in the Panopticon. Free my girl Sentinel! So we do have the team here. We have main DPS, Nautika, then Sentinel is here as a sub DPS and support situation. Summoice is here as a dedicated support, and Medicine Pocket is here as your healer. Personally, I don't have Medicine, but they have benched Ezra, my son. All right, I said let's give it a shot. Let's see how this Blood Tithe team works, baby. So we got these creepy, I don't even want to know what that is. All right, I have to remember to use Blood Tithe. So how we do this, first of all, I do want to see Sentinel's skills. I want to see the animations, and then we'll kind of go from there. So we have, is this expiation? Okay, so we have her channel and her attack. I'm going to run her channel, then her attack, and then I'm just going to run whatever comes next, quite frankly. I don't want to buff anyone yet. We'll use counter. We'll use Nautika's counter, because again, I don't want to focus on attack, because I want to see how much damage Sentinel can do, and if she's... I just want to see how much damage she can do. Even though she's like a mix of like a support and a DPS, I want to see her DPS capabilities first, I think. So let's see this. So there's the channel, Night Watch, and then after that, we're going to see Expiation. And I forgot Blood Tithe. Oh my god, it's fine. Everything's fine. So we did a little bit of damage. And I'm gonna double speed this now. We also got 4 guys waiting in the wings, I'm realizing. Medicine Pocket called someone a dumbass. Because also one thing I have learned with Blood Tithe is that you really just have to go in guns blazing and hope you don't die. So fingers crossed, everyone. Nautica, please don't die on me. I do have to say, the HP is going down pretty fast, which is, I was better to say than when we trialed Nautica. Is this? That's, okay, that's Nautica's ult. Summoice's ult. We're waiting on Sentinels. So do we want to try actually doing like a team comp here? Or do we want to just like do whatever? So we want to remember Blood Tithe. Usually then what I'll do while we wait is I'll kind of just go down the line. And if I can clear a thing like this, then that means the character's decent. So we're just gonna hit whatever we can. But I want to try and stack this Summoice, I think. So yeah, that's stacked. So we got that Blood Tithe. I always forget to do Blood Tithe. Ooh, okay, we're already taking things out. I haven't even gotten to Sentinel's ult yet. Okay, all right. I see the vision, I do. I ain't mad. We get to do the stabs. Only 3 stabs. But to be fair, I haven't been focusing on Nautica. So they're down. Okay, so the trouble I was having before with Nautica was just that we didn't have the proper team for her. Awesome. Great. I feel gaslit. I feel so gaslit right now. We're not even gonna be able to see Sentinel's ult. Can we see? Okay, we can see the ult. Thank you. I'm making it first, and sure, we can buff Sentinel. Why not? Just go down the line. Just do the thing, guys. I just want to see Sentinel's ult. It is in double speed, unfortunately. I did mess that up. I love the gargoyles and the stained glass. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, we're pulling for Sentinel. Sentinel makes Nautica work, so we're pulling for Sentinel. Thank you. If I hit enter, am I gonna... Awesome. Cool. I just want my rewards. Thank you. Thank you. I just want those 40 clear drops. All right. Also, we're gonna really quickly now go through everything. So I'm gonna grab as much, try to grab as much stuff as I can. So let's hit the bank. Go to the free thing. I don't think the weekly tribute gives you clear drops. No, but it's worth a shot. Go to battle pass. I accidentally, my game keeps doing this really fun thing where I click one thing and it clicks something else. I think that might just be my mouse. I had to upgrade my like my Razer stuff because I got new headphones and was trying to get them to work and they didn't work. Razer will be dealt with, but I had to upgrade, and since then I've been having like little technical difficulties with things because all my stuff is Razer. It gave me dust. I need clear drops, buddy. Do we get another collection progress? I'll find out later. All right, summon time, baby. I don't want to have to use too many pulls because like I said, I do want to pull for Charon. Where are we at record-wise? Okay, well, from the past 90 days. So I guess I haven't, oh yeah, because we had so many we had so many limited banners that I was pulling on the limited banners. I pulled on all the Assassin's Creed characters. I pulled on Nautica, and I did 3 pulls for Muldir, and that was it. Because I'm like, we're building pity. No, we're not. So I don't even know where we're at on this because they don't tell you. So we're at an indeterminate amount of pity. I genuinely don't know because we went through 2 whole patches of limited character pulls. So should we just do a temple? All right, indeterminate amount of pity. Let's do a temple. And that is a 5-star, correct? Yes, so it's gonna be probably Mr. Oh, it's not Mr. Duncan. Diggers, is Diggers on this banner? Diggers, are you on this banner? I don't think Diggers is on this banner. Diggers is not on this banner. I'm gonna crash out. All right, I wanna like pull because I don't know where I'm at pity-wise, but if I pull, I'll know. So we're gonna do another 10 pull because I'm insane. Indeterminate amount of pity. That was the pity. I don't even know if I don't know if I have to win a 50-50 or not. Just open it. Rip off the wound. We're looking for mineral. It's mineral. It's mineral. It's Recoleta. Recoleta, why did you spend 2 weeks in the university bathroom? Well, we lost a 50-50. Somehow this always happens. I told you I have bad luck. All right, let's go bank because I forgot to grab my my monthlies. Give me my 10 pull. I deserve it. All right. So now we're... Oh, it didn't even update. So we're probably at like 4 pity. Let's make it 14, baby. Maybe. Okay, well, we have a 5-star on this one at least. At least it's nothing. At least we have something. Oh, we have 2 5-stars. Just open them all. We got Duncan and Name Day. Okay, I'll take that. We take those. Bank. What do we got in the bank? I'm probably not going to end up pulling for Charon at this rate. And you know what? That's okay. I think I need Sentinel more on my account, quite frankly. So that'll be 14. And we have to do singles now. So we're going to bring it up to 15. Another 5-star. Okay. And it's gonna be Name Day again. I'm getting really lucky with off-banner characters, including the 6-star. So this would be 16 then, hypothetically, I think. And it's Montlicht. 17. Cristallo. 18. I'm probably not even counting right. Oh, this one's white cold. Alien. 19, I think? Oh, I'm out. I don't want to use my crystal drops. Well, that was unfortunate. But we kind of know where we're at pity-wise, or we will in a hot minute. But I'll probably keep pulling for Sentinel off camera because Sentinel makes Nautica work. I had so much trouble with Blood Tithe before because we didn't have the right characters to run with Nautica yet. I was so concerned when I pulled for Nautica. Literally, I got scammed by the scam banner, and I didn't even pull in the scam banner. You gotta be kidding. Well, I guess we're building Recoleta. And that's the thing, I'm actually happy to have Recoleta because I don't have Recoleta, but she is like, in theory, one of my favorite characters because she's a writer and I love a writer. I do love Recoleta. I love her outfit. It's one of those like gacha game character outfits that I would love to cosplay if I was a cosplayer. Like it's one of those. Like I feel like it also just looks so comfy. Oh, I thought Matilda had a portrait. Why do I always think it's a portrait? I'm just gonna do this while we talk now. Wait, more clear drops. I didn't realize I can get stuff. Okay, hold on. We're gonna go through all the characters now because I definitely have stuff that needs to be done. I have Max portraited out, Mr. Duncan, and I think that's because Mr. Duncan was a 5-star during Anjonalo's banner. So I got a lot of copies. 2 copies of Name Day, unprompted, by the way. But he is so pretty, so I'll take it. Have I ever used Name Day on a team? No. Kiparina, my daughter, has Story. Give me those clear drops, thank you. She heard me talking about her and was like, here you go. And Diggers. Not your banner either, sir. All right. Can we do any more pulls? No, unless I dip into my crystal drop fund, and I don't want to do that. I'll have enough pulls after I do my dailies and stuff, especially because I have overflow on my cells. But we're gonna be done for today, I think. So we unfortunately did not get Sentinel. Like I said, I'll probably keep pulling for her. I love the 2 characters. I also forgot to pin her. My thing is I love the characters in this. Oh, I didn't forget to pin her. Sentinel, where are you? I didn't get Sentinel. I got Recoletta. Why am I like this? Why am I like this? All right, go to summon, pull her up, Sentinel. I will most likely keep pulling for Sentinel just because I want her on my account. I need her to make Nautica work properly. I think if you also pulled Nautica, go for Sentinel. I just need to get Sentinel at this point. And you know, if I have to wait for a rerun for Charon, I tend to be very good at losing 50-50s when a character is added to the standard and getting them instead. So happened with Lopera, happened with Recoletta, literally the next patch, I think. Because when I was pulling for Nautica, I lost the 50-50 the first time to Lopera while she was running on a rerun scam banner. And the same thing happened while I was pulling for Sentinel in this patch. So, you know, history repeats itself, time is a circle, but we keep pulling for 9 days. I know I need to like go crazy in those 9 days. Like we might be doing so much reverse content because I need Sentinel. And I want her sooner rather than later so I can use my goddamn Blood Tithe team. Like if I don't get Sentinel, I won't be mad because then I have that guaranteed pity for Charon. But I think at this point I would almost prefer Sentinel and then get Charon on the rerun. But I did the same thing with pulling for Olive, and I still don't have Olive to this day. Like Olive was the character I preferred in that patch. I ended up pulling for both characters, and I don't think I got either of them, quite frankly. And I would not be surprised if the same thing happens here, where I was planning on pulling for Charon because I liked Charon's design better. I love a creature, apparently. Again, went to go see Frankenstein in theaters. Like, by the way, if you haven't seen Frankenstein, it's now streaming on Netflix, and I think everyone should watch it, especially if you're a Reverse 1999 fan. I think you'll like it. If you are a big Reverse story enjoyer and like the visuals and everything, I think if you play Reverse 1999, you will like the Frankenstein remake by Guillermo del Toro. I think that's just like common sense. I've said this before in other Reverse videos. But I like a creature, right? I like the creature character. So I was planning on pulling for Charon. Same deal, I was planning on pulling for Olive, but I got distracted by the first character and pulled for them too. But Sentinel, I do think I want more at this point, just because for meta reasons. And sometimes I do go more meta on my pull plans just because I'm like, oh, I like the character themselves as well. Like I love Sentinel, but I liked Charon's design more because I love a creature, but I love Sentinel. So I'm not mad about pulling for Sentinel, but I do need to keep pulling for Sentinel. If I don't get her, I'm gonna be a little upset, but at the end of the day, I can always come back to my impromptu incantation team. They kind of go hard. So like, it's fine. That's gonna be it for this video though. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give me a like down below, as well as subscribe for more, and hit the little notification bell to be notified when I upload new ones. Let me know in the comments down below how your Sentinel pulls went. Are we skipping? Are we saving? Are we hoping and praying we win a 50-50? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, I hope everyone is having a super lovely day wherever you are in the world. And I also hope all Sentinel wanters are Sentinel havers. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys!